Is the real estate market going to crash in 2021? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video, and we are getting started right now. Hey everybody, my name is David Calhoun with eXp Realty, and today we're going to discuss whether or not the real estate market is headed for a crash like we experienced in 2008 and 2009. So last March, many involved in the real estate industry feared that the market would be crushed under the pressure of the coronavirus. So instead, the real estate market had one of the best years ever. Home sales were up substantially over the year. 2020 was so strong that many feared the market's exuberance mirrors that of the last housing boom that we experienced in 2003, 4, 5, and 6. And however, there are many reasons the real estate market is unlike anything we had back then. So there are 6 visuals we're going to discuss here, and we're going to show the differences from then till now. So number 1, mortgage standards are nothing like they were back then. During the housing bubble, it was not difficult to get a mortgage, and today it's tough to qualify for a mortgage. Recently, the Urban Institute released their latest Housing Credit Availability Index, HCAI, which measures the percentage of owner-occupied home purchase loans that are likely to default, that is, go unpaid for more than 90 days past their due date. A lower HCAI indicates that the lenders are unwilling to tolerate defaults and are imposing higher lending standards, making it harder to get a loan. A higher HCAI indicates the lenders are willing to tolerate defaults and are taking more risks, making it easier to get a loan. The index shows that lenders are comfortable taking on high levels of risk during the housing boom from 2004 to 2006. It also reveals that today, the HCAI is under 5%, which is the lowest it's been since the introduction of the index. If the current default risk was doubled across all channels, risk would still be well within the pre-crisis standard of 12.5% from 2001 to 2003 for the whole mortgage market. This is nothing like the last time. The second reason why this is not like 2008, 2009, prices are not soaring out of control. So I'm going to show a graph here showing annual home price appreciation over the past 4 years compared to the 4 years leading up to the height of the housing bubble. Though price appreciation is without a doubt strong last year, it's nowhere near the rise in the price that preceded the crash. So there's a stark difference between these two periods of time. Normal home appreciation is about 3.8%. So while appreciation is higher than the historic norm, it's certainly not accelerating out of control like it did in the early 2000s. So it's nothing like the last time. Number 3 is that we don't have a surplus of homes on the market. We have a shortage. The month's supply of inventory needed to sustain a normal real estate market is approximately 6 months. Anything more than that is an overabundance and will cause prices to depreciate. Anything less than that is a shortage and will lead to continued appreciation in home prices. As I'm going to show you on the screen here, the next graph shows there are way too many homes for sale in 2007, and that caused prices to tumble. Today, there's a shortage of inventory, which is causing acceleration in home values. This is nothing like the last time. Number 4 is new construction isn't making up the difference in inventory needed. Some may think new construction is filling the void. However, if we compare today to right before the housing crash back then, we can see that an overabundance of newly built homes was a major challenge then, and it's just not the reality right now. This is nothing like the last time. And number 5, houses aren't becoming too expensive to buy. I hear that often, that homes are just too expensive and people can't afford them. But the affordability formula has 3 components in it. It's the price of the home, the wages earned by the purchaser, and the mortgage rate available at the time. 15 years ago, prices were high, wages were low, and mortgage rates were over 6%. Today, prices are still high, wages, however, have increased, and the mortgage rate is about 3%. That means the average homeowner pays less than their monthly income toward their mortgage payment than they did back then. Looking back at the bubble years ago, house prices exceeded house buying power in 2006. But today, house buying power is nearly twice as high as the median sale price. And number 6, people are equity rich, not tapped out. In the run-up to the housing bubble, Homeowners were using their homes as personal ATM machines. Many immediately withdrew equity once it built up, and they learned their lesson in the process. Prices have risen nicely over the last few years, leading to over 50% of the homes in the country having greater than 50% equity. And owners have not been tapping into that like the last time. Here's a table comparing the equity withdrawal over the last 3 years compared to 2005, 6, and 7. As you can see, homeowners have cashed out almost $500 billion less than before. During the crash, homeowners' values began to fall and sellers found themselves in a negative equity situation where the amount of mortgage they owed was greater than the value of their home. That's a big problem. Some decided to walk away from their home, and that led to a wave of distressed property listings, foreclosures, short sales, which sold at huge discounts, thus lowering the value of the homes in the area. With the average home equity now standing at over $190,000, this won't happen today. This is nothing like the last time. Bottom line, if you're concerned that we're making the same mistakes that led to the housing crash, take a look at the charts and graphs above to help alleviate your fears. And as always, if you have specific real estate questions or curious about what it's like to buy or sell in this market we're currently in, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to talk with you.